Today's case is one of the most horrific cases in the history of India. What if I tell you that 28 years ago, when this case reached the court, and the court had called the rarest of rare case, and only that case was being talked about on the front page of every newspaper in India. So let's learn more about today's case, which revolves around the Tandoor scandal. Harbhajan Singh and Jaswant Kaur had 4 children, but out these 4, Naina was a little different from her 3 siblings. She was goal-oriented and smart since childhood. She knew how to express her opinions. Whatever thoughts she had, she was not afraid to put them forward in front of other people. She was very vocal and straight to the point. Because of her personality, she had also become a part of student politics in her college. When she graduated from Delhi University, she decided to become a pilot, due to which she stayed away from politics for a few years, but she could not stay away from it for long. And in 1989, she became the General Secretary of the Girls' Wing Youth Congress Delhi. And while working in politics, Naina met another man whose name was Sushil Sharma. Sushil's father worked as a clerk in bank. He always had some problems related to money. This could not stop him from dreaming big. He had to do something big in his life. So when he went to Delhi University for his graduation, then he took great interest in politics. And just like Naina, he was very active in the politics of his college. He was smart like a fox. He knew how to get his work done, and he also made friends with very intelligent people. He knew who was beneficial to him and who not. And similarly, he used to make friends. Another habit of his was slash opponent posters with a knife. So because of all these antics and also because of his outgoing nature, he was becoming popular among the students. Now, he is so popular, and when power comes into the hands of a man, it normally and usually leads to 2 things. The first thing that happens to a man is that he uses this power in a responsible way. Or the second thing can be with so much power going to your head and you become arrogant. When Sushil got so much power in his hands and his ego had increased a lot, his pride had increased a lot, and to match his attitude, he also kept a revolver with him so that he could scare people. Although Sushil was very hardworking towards his political career, he was very serious. He could literally do anything to move ahead. Because of his passion about his work and popularity, he was made the leader of Youth Congress in 1977. Now moving forward in 1989, as soon he saw Naina, he fell in love with her, and he tried to impress Naina. They both liked each other. Because their personalities are similar, both had the same interests. After studying, both of them got married to each other in 1993. Only his parents and a few people had come. Their marriage was so private that some outside relatives or even the people around them did not know that they were married. As I told you earlier, Sushil had to do something big in his life since childhood. That's why he kept his marriage private, because according to him, he did not want that his marriage should come in between his dreams. Also, somewhere Sushil felt that people would consider him weak, so he told all these things to Naina. And because Naina loved him so much, she accepted it and understood it. Now, Sushil and Naina lived together in a building called Gol Market, Delhi. In the beginning, everything was fine. They were living together happily, but gradually their happy married life was becoming suffocating for them. Because now Sushil favors the girl, an illicit relationship with many girls, which Naina did not like at all. And she told all this thing directly to Sushil, which Sushil did not like. And due to this, fights starts between them. The distance between them had increased. But even Sushil used to hang out with girls, used to work for them. He expected the exact opposite from Naina. Sushil was very possessive about Naina. He used to beat her. He used to lock her inside the house. He was so possessive about Naina that he even asked his house servant to keep an eye on Naina and to tell Sushil what Naina does throughout the day, where she goes, who she talks, and everything. It had been almost 2 years since their marriage, and Sushil was still not making his marriage public. So Naina used to feel very lonely while staying at home and meeting few people. And during this time, Naina got back to her friend Matloob Karim, and Matloob used to talk to each other for hours, sometimes meeting and sometimes on calls. But again, as soon Sushil came to know that Naina was talking to a male friend Matloob or was in contact with him, he got very angry, and a very serious fight started again between both of them. Well, now you must be wondering that she was talking to her friend. What is the big deal in this? Why was he so angry? Sushil didn't like that she should talk to Matloob because Matlub was Naina's ex-boyfriend. Matlub Karim studied with Naina in same college and worked in the same Congress party. They both knew each other. Both were in love, but because Matlub belonged to a Muslim family, so Naina's family was against his love. And after breakup, because both of them worked in the same political party, so they kept meeting each other. But at this point, Matlub was married and he just wanted to help his friend. But neither Matlub nor Sushil knew that Naina was very fed up with her marriage. She did not want to live with Sushil. That is why Naina made a plan that she would go to Australia and open an export business. And for this, she had contacted Matlub. And after hearing about Naina's entire plan, Matlub was ready to help her to settle down in Australia. Because Sushil was possessive, and he used to doubt Naina's character again and again. Because Naina used to talk to Matlub for hours. And again, Sushil knew about their past relationship, so he thought that Naina and Matlub were having an affair. And he used to come home every day. And he pressed the redial button on the telephone to see who Naina was talking to. It was 1995. There were no smartphones at that time. That is why Sushil used to press the redial button on landline. So because of all these activities and Sushil's affair, Naina no longer wanted to live with Sushil. They were together for so long, and Naina also knew everything about Sushil, but she did not know this thing, that this calls with Matlub became the cause of her death. On the 6th of July, 1995, Sushil came home. At that time, Naina was talking on the phone. As soon as Naina saw Sushil, she got scared and put down her phone. Sushil got suspicious, and when Naina went to another room, he pressed the redial button of the phone, and at this time, Matlub picked up the call. As soon as Sushil heard Matlub's voice, he got angry and hung up the phone and went to Naina. There was an argument between them, and in anger, he took out his revolver, and within seconds, he fired 3 bullets at Naina, one of which hit Naina's head, the second on her neck, and the third bullet missed, went straight to the AC unit. He shot Naina, and she was dead on spot. When Sushil checked, Naina was dead and in panic. He wrapping Naina's body in a plastic sheet. He picked up Naina's body and kept it in the trunk of his car and brought Naina's body near the Yamuna River. His initial plan was to throw Naina's body in the Yamuna River, but because there were so many people on the banks of the river, and he was also popular, he got a little scared after seeing the people that they might recognize him. That is why he changed his plan around. 10:15 p.m. Sushil reached a restaurant named Bag and Barbecue. This restaurant was owned by Sushil and one of his friends. After reaching there, he called the restaurant manager Keshav Kumar and said to vacate the restaurant. And when the restaurant became empty, Sushil confesses to Keshav that he has killed his wife and needs Keshav's help to hide Naina's body. Keshav was obviously scared, but because Sushil was in the political field, so he came under pressure and helped Sushil, and they both came up with a plan. Both of them thought burning the body by putting it inside the tandoor of the restaurant. For those who don't know, what is tandoor? It's like a clay oven inside which roti is cooked, something like this. Now these people had brought the body near the tandoor, but body was not fitting in tandoor because the opening of the tandoor was very small. That is why Sushil cut the body of his own wife Naina into pieces and took them one by one. He started throwing it in the tandoor, but again Naina had not been dead for much time, and since this is a human body, it cannot burn suddenly, so in a hurry they used paper, cardboard, or putting the banners of their political party in this tandoor. And they also saw a box of butter near the tandoor, so they put that butter in this thing. He had finished 4 packets of butter one by one. Sushil kept Keshav near the tandoor so that he could keep fire burning, and himself went to the gate so that he could see no one came near to this tandoor. Now the body has started to burn, but imagine that if so much cardboard, so much paper and butter is heated in a small tandoor, then how much will be the height of flame and smoke? And this flames of the tandoor were 30 to 35 feet high. That is why the flames were visible even above the boundary of the restaurant. At this time, constables Abdul Kunju and Chanar Pal were patrolling in the restaurant area. So when they saw the fire, were scared that the fire might spread to the entire area. And thinking of controlling it, they were about to enter, but suddenly Sushil stopped him and said, "Sir, nothing is happening here. We are just burning the old banners of the party." Constable Abdul felt that there was nothing wrong, so he just told Sushil to control the fire and said this. They went back to his duty. Sushil became even more scared after the constable left, so in his mind was that body body should burn as soon as possible, and he started throwing more papers, and now the fire in Tandoor had increased even more, which was seen by a lady living nearby. As soon as the fire intensified, Anaro Devi, a woman selling vegetables, saw the fire, and she got scared that the fire might spread to the neighborhood. She shouted loudly, "Fire in the hotel! Fire in the hotel!" Even till then, Constable Abdul had not doubted. After this, Constable Abdul climbed the wall and came inside. He saw Keshav standing next to the tandoor, and he was scared to see the policeman, but he also said the same thing to Abdul, that we are burning the old posters of the party. But there was one problem. The policemen were now smelling a very dirty burning smell from this area, and this smell was not of any wood or paper burning. It smelled like meat. So the constable tried to see deep inside the tandoor properly. When fire had reduced a little, and he felt that someone was burning a deer or goat inside. Then again, the constable looked at Keshav, and Keshav said nervously, "Yes, I am burning the goat here." But by then, police had arrived there. It had been some time since the body was burnt, so the smell of burning is now even stronger there. The police became suspicious and extinguished the fire, and when they went closer and looked, they realized that there was a human body on top of the tandoor. Sushil had seen all this from a distance, and as soon he saw that Keshav had been caught by the police, and he ran away from there. After being burnt, the condition of the body was so bad that it was difficult to recognize who this man or woman was. As I told you, Sushil cut off the hands and legs of body and threw it in the tandoor, and now after burning, Naina's entire face and torso were damaged. Only a few hairs were left on her head. But after arresting Keshav, he himself confessed this thing, that this is Naina's body. But police could not believe only on Keshav's words. So to find more evidence, the police went to the rented flat of Naina and Sushil. When they reached there, they found bullet casings and bloodstains, after which police called Naina parents to identify the body. But the body so badly burned, even her own parents were unable to recognize their daughter. Then finally, Matlub was the one who identified Naina's body by its hairstyle and the structure of the nose. And this case is the landmark case of India, in which the body was identified using DNA. For the first time when the autopsy was done, the experts said that he died due to excessive burning, but the autopsy could not reveal whether his body was cut before burning or whether his body was torn to pieces due burning. After this second autopsy had to be done. In the autopsy, bullets were found in Naina's body, which were matching with the evidence of bullet shells found by police from Sushil's house. As you can see that the experts did not do their job well, and now because the second autopsy had declared death due to bullets, so now the allegation could also be made that the police had planned the bullets in Naina's body so that Sushil could be implicated. Although importance is given to the first autopsy in every case, but the first autopsy was incomplete in this case. Hence, the second autopsy was given importance here. On 10th July, Sushil surrendered in Bangalore, and when the police went to pick him up, he was unrecognizable because he had shaved his head and beard. And he was repeatedly saying that I had gone on a pilgrimage. I don't know what happened to Naina. The court did not have any proper evidence to conclude, to prove that Sushil was the culprit, except one was the constable and his partner who had taken Sushil to the restaurant. But no one had seen Sushil committing the crime, and that is why, due to less evidence, the police could not arrest him because Sushil was from a political background. He had a sharp mind, and he knew that no one would be able to prove it because no one saw him committing this crime. So police also did not accept that he had committed the crime. But still the police did not give up, and they kept collecting evidence. After trying so hard, finally police had got all evidence against him, which included his car, the bloody clothes he was wearing that night, and Keshav's confession. Also, when he was being taken to jail, himself confessed that was so confident in his political connections that he was saying, "Don't worry, I will come out in a month." Until the end, he kept denying that there was something between him and Naina. But it is clear that he had killed Naina only because of jealousy and suspicion. The Indian High Court has given the status of rarest of the rare case, and Sushil was given the penalty of death sentence. But later, the Supreme Court of India changed Sushil's death penalty to life imprisonment on December 22nd. And later, 2018, Sushil was released from jail saying that he has spent 23 years of his life in Tihar jail, which is enough. His nature has changed, and he used to work as a priest in the jail, which proves that he is a completely changed person. Now, the irony of this case is that Sushil works as a marriage counselor. He tells people how to keep their marriage safe, how to love each other. After this case, people had stopped eating food prepared in Tandoor Delhi for a year. This is not a joke. it is a truth, because whenever people hear the name of Tandoor, they remember Naina. With this, the Tandoor case ends here. Before you guys go, please like, share, subscribe, and comment down below.